Hey y'all, welcome back. So for today's recipe, we're making my not your ordinary mother-in-law's refried beans. So first things first, you're gonna need 2 cups of pinto beans. Now, if you don't have your beans stored in a container like this and roughly don't know how many ounces you have or cups in here, technically it's going to be 1 16-ounce bag of refried beans. So first things first, you're going to scoop out your 2 cups of beans, and once you get that done, you'll go ahead and sort through the beans and make sure you don't have any dirty beans or beans that are discoloration, has any discoloration. And so we're gonna start off with that. All right, y'all, so I've already sorted through all my beans and I've also put in hot water just to cover the beans. Now these beans are still hard, of course. You can hear that sound there. You can either soak this overnight and cook it up in the morning, or if you're in a pinch, you can actually soak this on the same day, between 2 to 4 hours, just until they're softened, and cook it actually the same day. All right, y'all, so this is my beans after 3 hours. I'm actually soaking and cooking my beans in the same day, and you can tell a big difference between from when it was dry and to what it is now. The beans are lighter in color and also lighter in weight, and this is how the beans looked like before soaking them. So the ingredients are 1 16-ounce bag of dried pinto beans, which is equivalent to 2 cups of dried beans. I also have 5 jalapeños. I have 3 chili California, and I have some salt here. I have pink Himalayan salt, and that's what I prefer, but any kind is fine. I also have some manteca. Now the manteca here in the grocery stores, they don't have the one that I normally use back down in the south, which is the green and the white box, but this will do here. All right, y'all, so my beans have been cooking for about an hour and a half now, and you want this to go for at least 2 hours or just until it's tender, and you do want it at a rapid boil. Now, if your water evaporates before it's tender, then go ahead and just add some more water into the pot. Okay, so my beans are nice and tender and cooked. I'm gonna go ahead and strain them and put it into a separate bowl, and you want to reserve the liquid. Okay, y'all, so I strained my pinto beans and I put it in a container here, and I'm going to use my hand blender to smush it all up. I also took out the reserving cooking liquid, kept that in the bowl, and my pot that I cooked the beans in is on a medium heat, and we'll keep that kind of low to medium, so that inside the can dry out. We're going to use that to cook our refried beans. Now you can use a hand blender, which I prefer, or you can use a food processor, just like this one here. This is how you want it to look. You go ahead and take your reserved liquid that you cook the beans in, and you're going to fill it up all the way to the top of the bean, and you want this to be actually runny, because when you cook it down in the pot, it's going to be cooking for at least 2 to 3 hours on medium, and once that liquid evaporates, you're going to get nice thick refried beans, or runny beans, however you want it, however you like it. All right, y'all, for the chilies and the jalapeno, I went ahead and washed it and rinsed it. For the chili here, I went ahead and split it down the middle, took out the membrane, and de-seeded it. So what you'll do next is you'll take your chilies into a pot of the manteca. Now be careful, because it may splatter on you. Okay, so I have this on a medium heat. I don't want to burn the peppers, and if you do, then your whole oil is going to be really bad, and you have to clear it out. But you go ahead and just toast it just until it turns a bright red. So I just threw in my jalapenos here. I'm going to toast these just until it blisters up. And also for the manteca, I want to put just enough just to cover the bottom of the pan. So roughly maybe half a cup of manteca in here. Alright, y'all, so what makes this not your on your refried beans, mother-in-law's refried beans, is that they have these Mexican chilies. And these chilies here will give the beans a reddish color instead of just a brownish color. The jalapenos. So I went on ahead and added my refried beans that I smashed up with my hand blender. And you can see how watery and liquidy it is. So we're going to cook this for at least 2 to 3 hours really slow until all the water, or most of the water, is evaporated. And we're going to cook it down to your liking. Now this is my late mother-in-law's recipe, and other recipes that I've seen, you know, it calls for frying your garlic, frying your onion. Well, don't do that, y'all. Do it this way. It's going to give it so much flavor and a beautiful reddish tint. Alright y'all, here we go. This is the final product. So once it's cooked and everything, I'll go ahead and add my salt, just a taste. I don't like it too salty because once you reheat it, you can add extra salt if you wish. But remember all that liquid that I had in here, and now it's just condensed down to this delicious refried beans. And I like it this way too. I don't like it too thin or too thick. This here is just right. So once this cools down, I like to go ahead and store it in these containers that I got from Sam's Club. Now the 16 ounces of beans here cooked down will yield 2 of these containers here. So once I put it in this container, I'll go ahead and top it off with the jalapeños that we had seasoned the manteca with. So that goes right on top of the beans in the container and into the fridge and into the freezer. So I hope you guys like my not your ordinary mother-in-law's refried beans. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye y'all.